Hello, my name is Patrick McCray. In 1988, I got a job at the now legendary VOGUE Theater. However, I had been attending the theater with the calendar format since 1977, when I moved into the neighborhood when I was only 6 years old. I grew up with the VOGUE as a fixture just up the street, and I grew up with a sense of community at the VOGUE, in that there were the same regulars there all the time, many of whom got in for free because they were friends with the very wise, strange, brilliant, strangely enigmatic manager, Carl Walschlegel, who was this almost mythological figure for me when I was a kid. There are a lot of movies that are emblematic of the VOGUE experience. However, there's only one movie that is emblematic of the VOGUE itself, and that's Cinema Paradiso, which is the film that you're about to see. It's an amazing movie, it's a magical movie. It is the best movie about our relationship with movies as not only a place to dream, but as a community hub that I think has ever been made. For a long time, I've longed for a remake in America, and I've been thrilled that it hasn't happened. The film came out at a very interesting, special time for me, a very fortuitous time, because I was just about to graduate from high school. And when it arrived at the theater, in fact, I think it arrived and Carl screened it on my prom night, and he said, Patrick, you're going to have an interesting time watching this movie. And I said, why? And he said, because it's about your life, and it's about our relationship at the theater, because he'd become my friend and my mentor over the years. I was fascinated by the projection room and by everything about how the theater operated. I was in love with movies. And the film told that story eerily well. My father was in San Diego, and so I was largely with my mother, who tolerated and sometimes encouraged, but sometimes was very frustrated by my relationship with movies. I had wanted to go into the picture business, just like Toto. I'd started working at the theater from a relatively young age, and certainly hanging around it younger than that. And because I was interested in the picture business, Carl even said things to me that Alfredo would say to Toto. You know, he would say, Patrick, we're crazy about you, but make sure you go away. And, you know, of course, often he would say that just out of general frustration with my antics. But in this case, it was very lovingly that, you know, I had to go someplace and actually live some dreams, which I think I did. In 1998, the VOGUE closed. Again, the movie sort of reflected life. Years later, when I was sent footage of most of the theater, other than the marquee, being torn down, it was like watching it explode in Cinema Paradiso. I continue to identify with the director, with the adult director, in a lot of ways, just like I identified with the young Toto. The boring French filmmaker Francois Truffaut once said in a book that I didn't read that you could not love Rear Window without loving movies, and you could not love movies without watching Rear Window. I think by Rear Window he actually meant the movie Megaforce, but I think he also meant Cinema Paradiso. If you've never seen the film before, you're in for a tremendous experience, and if you've seen the film before, you know the tremendous experience that's ahead of you. Enjoy it. I can say very sincerely, I wish I were there. Thank you.